Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our dearest teacher in this subject, and good morning also to my co-classmates in this subject. So, this time, we'll be tackling about the Katipunan Cebu. So first, let us talk about the objectives of the Katipunan movement in Cebu. Oral written accounts and objectives of the Katipunan in Cebu revealed similar intentions as conceived by the Katipuneros in Manila. That is to put an end to the abuse of the Spaniards against Filipinos in general and the women in particular, to secure the independence of the country as well as to help the injured comrades in arms by giving them the proper medical attention they deserve. The aforesaid objectives correspond to the society's three primary objectives: civil, political, moral. Though these terms have not been used by oral historians who have focused less on taxonomic enumeration of events than on clear declarations of ending abuses against women, ending the rule of Spain, and extending helping arms to the fellow Katipuneros as compared to written accounts, these objectives are clearly elucidated. The abuses committed particularly by Spanish priests against Filipino women surface in the accounts of all informants. The most emphasized objective, though in oral accounts, is the ignorance of relationship with Spain, that is, the struggle, the independence of the Philippines. Sumaga siya, that was the main objective of the Katipunan movement in Cebu. Nganong nahitabo ang Katipunan movement dito sa Cebu. Sumani siya ang objective. So now let's talk about the Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society to work for the independence of the Philippines by means of arms or revolution. This was formed on July 7, 1892, and also known as Kataas-taasan, Kagalang-galangan na Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, or shall we say, KKK. So the highest body in the Katipunan is the Supreme Council, seconded by the Provincial Council for provinces and Municipal Council for towns. The first set of officers in the Katipunan were the President or called as the Supremo, who was Diodato Arellano, the Comptroller, who was Andres Bonifacio, and the Fiscal, Ladislao Diwa. The treasurer was Valentin Diaz, and the secretary was Teodoro Plata. In 1893, Basa replaced Arellano, and again unsatisfied with the performance, Bonifacio assumed the presidency. So let's tackle about Andres Bonifacio, who was the comptroller. Andres Bonifacio was born on November 30, 1863 in Tondo, Manila. Orphaned at early age, worked hard to support his siblings. To improve his knowledge, he read books. He was also known as the father of Katipunan and the great plebeian. He wrote the Pag-ibig as Tinubuang Bayan and Katungkulang Gagawin ng mga anak ng bayan. So that was his work. Let's tackle about also Emilio Jacinto. He was born on December 15, 1875 in Tondo, Manila, same with Andres Bonifacio. At age of 18, he gave up his law studies to devote his time and energy to Katipunan. So that's how he was being so devoted by the Katipunan. Trusted advisor of Bonifacio. So he was the former advisor of Andres Bonifacio. He was also known as the brains of Katipunan, and he wrote the Cartilla. Together with Bonifacio and Dr. Pio Valenzuela, they founded the newspaper Kalayaan. So, what are the forms of membership in the Katipunan? So, let's first talk about the methods in recruitment for members or of members. So, we have this what we call triangle system where a Katipunero was required to recruit 2 members to form triangle, but the new member did not know each other. So the triangle system where one of the Katipunero should recruit 2 members, but that 2 members kanang wala sila nagkailhanay or dili sila kaila. The other one is the initiation rites. Tested the courage, patriotism, and loyalty of members. So muna siya i-check nila ang mga members if they have the courage, patriotism, and loyalty of the members diha sa Katipunan. So the other thing that we will tackle about is the classes of members and their password. Katipon means anak ng bayan. Kawal means gumburza, and bayani is Rizal. So, what about the woman? So, unsa may trabaho sa mga babae during sa Katipunan? They serve as the fronts to deceive Spanish authorities. So, may trabaho sa mga babae. Entrusted with transfer of secret documents. Kaysa unang mga panahon, during sa Spanish time, kaya mga babae, wala sila gihatagan og kanang dako nga rights na makatrabaho, makalihok. So, sa kanang nga pamaagi, i-take na nila for granted ang kanang idea para ang kanang mga Spanish kay kanang, di ba, ang babae kay deserve nila as fronts to deceive Spanish authorities. I-take po na nila ang time na kanang pinaagi nga dili makalihok kayo ang mga babae, sila may gi-interestan sa pag-transfer sa mga secret documents sin ana. So most members belong to masses who were disappointed with the peaceful campaign for reforms. So let's talk about the getting ready for war. Katipuneros gathered bolos, lances, and other firearms. So pag andam na nila sa kanang war. Katipuneros gathered bolos, lances, and other firearms. For their headquarters, they choose one of the caves of Montalban, Rizal. On April 10, 1895, they held a meeting which was called the Cry of Montalban. Kaya dito man sila nag-meeting sa Cave of Montalban. They sought the support of Rizal, but he claimed the Filipinos were not yet ready at the moment. Antonio Luna was appointed as the military commander as suggested by Rizal. So, according na ni sa ilahang namitingan, made fake documents which show that rich and educated Filipinos were contributors to Katipunan, and so many of them were imprisoned. Some were executed. So, they are also talking about the Katipunan flag, a rectangular piece of cloth with KKK in the center. And discovery of Katipunan. The Katipunan was discovered on August 19, 1896 by Teodoro Pateno done the revelation due to misunderstanding between him and another Katipunero. He told his sister and a nun, then to a priest who was one who revealed to Spanish authorities. Spanish authorities raided the homes of suspected Katipuneros, put them in jail, or tortured them. So, mao ni nahitabo nga kanang nahibaluan na ang Katipunan tungod ato ni Teodoro Patino nga gisulti niya sa iyang igsuon. Gisulti po sa pari, dito nahibaluan na hinuon sa mga Spanish authorities, and dito nahitabo ang raid sa mga Spanish in every homes sa mga Katipuneros and gilock sila into jails and ang uban kay gipang torture, gipang bunog. Outbreak of the Revolution. 4 days after the discovery, a mass meeting was held in sitio of Ugadlawin and they planned what to do. They decided to fight and was the tearing of cedula certificates while shouting, "Long live the Philippines! Long live the Katipunan!" This event was known as the Cry of Ugadlawin. So we are very familiar of this quote, Cry of the Ugadlawin. In August 30, 1896, Bonifacio with 800 Katipuneros attacked Spanish arsenal in San Juan del Monte. About 150 Katipuneros died, captured, and executed. So dito nahitabo ang war between the Spanish and the Katipuneros. So Governor Glenn Blanco placed 8 provinces under martial law to prevent further spread of revolution. The 8 provinces under martial law are the Manila, Bulacan, Pampanga, Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, Laguna, Batangas, and Cavite. Now let's talk about Rizal's execution during the Katipunan. Dr. Jose P. Rizal, the most famous Filipino to be arrested on charges of rebellion and sedition, sentenced to death by firing squad, and executed. He was being executed on December 30, 1896 in Luneta, where a monument now stands to honor his memory. So dito sa Luneta, makita na to dito ang monument ni Jose Rizal. Next is the rise of Aguinaldo. Who was Emilio Aguinaldo? He was 25-year-old when he joined Katipunan, adopted the symbolic name of Magdalo, nation's first president, commanded the revolution in Cavite, attacked the Spanish garrison, and won Cavite became the major battleground during the revolution. The downfall of Bonifacio. 2 provincial council in Cavite, Magdiwang Council and Magdalo Council. Let's tackle first the Magdiwang Council. Magdiwang Council was the headquarters in Magdiwang Council was in Noveleta, headed by Mariano Alvarez. Next is ang Magdalo Council. Headquarter nila is in Kawit, headed by Baldomero Aguinaldo. Not united, and when attacked by Spanish forces and divided, Katipuneros couldn't put up an effective defense. At a meeting on December 31, 1896, the Magdalo group favored the establishment of revolutionary government to replace Katipunan. In Tejeros Assembly, the Katipunan was dissolved and replaced by a new revolutionary government. Emilio Aguinaldo was elected as the new president. In Tejeros Convention, Bonifacio was humiliated when he was elected into a minor post, and when questioned to his election to the position, he was hurt and announced he wouldn't recognize a new government. Bonifacio continued Katipunan and signed Naik military agreement with his followers. Naik military agreement was the Katipunan will have its own separate army from Aguinaldo. In the encounter in Indang, Cavite, Bonifacio was captured and his brother Cesario was killed. Bonifacio was tried for treason and sedition, found guilty, and sentenced to death. On May 10, 1897, Bonifacio and his brother Procopio were executed.